Hi, I'm Anya Schoolman, and I'm the president and one of the co-founders of the Mount Pleasant Solar Co-op.
I'm Walter Lynn, also one of the co-founders of Mount Pleasant Solar Co-op.
The Solar Co-op is a group of neighbors that got together to help each other go solar, and we all are volunteers. We all work together. We share information on pricing. We do some bulk purchasing to get the costs down. We do advocacy, so we go to the city government and we fight for programs that help support solar. We've actually helped pass a couple of laws that support solar in DC, so it's really a network of neighbors working to go solar.
The Mount Pleasant Solar Co-op kind of started out as a project that me and my friend Diego thought I'd figure out different ways to help out our community deal with climate change.
We started, actually Walter was about this tall at the time. He was 12 years old, and it was more than 6 years ago, and we just were working in Mount Pleasant, and we went solar the first year after we passed the new legislation in 2009. We took 45 houses solar, and you could look around this roof and we'll show you a bunch of the houses that went solar then. But since then, other neighborhoods in DC heard about it, and so we help other co-ops in other neighborhoods form. And there's now 11 co-ops in DC, and there's actually new ones kind of forming all the time. And then all the DC co-ops work together under a single umbrella called DC Solar United Neighborhoods, or DC Sun. Reasons why going solar as a group or in a co-op is much better than doing it on your own, and it's really relevant all the way through the process. When we were taking 45 houses solar, the DC government kept losing the applications for the grants, and it was only because we were working as a group that we had our own spreadsheet and we were tracking them, and we could say no, theirs was actually number 32, it was really submitted, you guys lost it. So that's just to get started. Having that transparency, knowing about price, knowing about experiences with installers. But then it's really important even after you go solar. So one thing we found out is that the utility, our utility Pepco, doesn't always charge you correctly for the solar. You're supposed to get a discount, a one-to-one discount for every kilowatt hour of electricity you produce. You're supposed to get that much reduced off your bill. But in order for that to happen, they have to have the right meter on your house. So what we found, again, because we were a group that was sharing information with each other, is that some people got the right meters and some people didn't. But because we were a group, Pepco listened. And what we find is when one person, just one home calls and complains, they get put on hold for 5 hours, or they never get calls back, and it takes forever. But because we were a group and we were known and we learned how to make a lot of noise, we learned how to get results from Pepco. Another thing that happened is that people sometimes had the right meters, but they had the wrong billing. Because what happened is that the utility's billing system can't read a negative number. So some people would one month produce more than they consumed, and the utility would read that as a positive number. So all of a sudden our members were getting $1,000 bills because the computer couldn't read a -10, something like that. So again, by working as a group, we were able to share this information. We were able to show the regulators that there was a pattern. It wasn't just an isolated mistake, which is what the utility was saying. And we were able to force the utility to change their policy and staffing and things like that. And just some of the basic things that we did in the very beginning. For example, Walter and his friend Diego made a flyer that just had people to fill out their names on the flyer, and they just took it door to door. And we were really shocked by how many people just responded to just a simple note saying, do you want to go solar? And just calling a meeting in a house, getting people together, getting people to talk about what it is they want to do and why they want to do it.
Once we had a pretty large membership, we were able to use that to negotiate with installers about prices, and also negotiate with basically city council, because we had political power in the neighborhood to some degree. Because we had a network of people who were interested, we were able to get a large number of people to go solar at the same time, as opposed to starting small with a couple people going solar and slowly building on that.
started a national network of groups that work on these kind of projects where we can share resources with each other and help people find experts. It's called the Community Power Network, and the website's communitypowernetwork.com. And there you can learn about groups actually all over the U.S. that have maybe not done the same thing, but different versions. Each community kind of has to find the model and the technologies that work best for them. And Community Power Network, you can find examples all over the U.S. and a lot of studies and reports and information, how-to guides, how you could do this yourself.
These are solar panels on our roof. It's a 2.4 kilowatt system. They're thin film, which is opposed to PV panels, which are rigid and mounted on racks. These are just stuck to the roof, kind of like stickers.
What you'll notice in our neighborhood is that you can't see any of the solar from the street. And that's because this is a historic neighborhood and you're not allowed to have anything modern looking from the street. These houses are about 100 years old. So all of the solar systems are set back from the front of the house. But it's still very easy to accommodate the historic rules and do the solar.